Hello wrestling fans, welcome back to another video. The grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 41, is almost upon us. This year the spotlight shines on a monumental clash. Cody Rhodes defends the WWE Championship against the legend John Cena, and what promises to be Cena's farewell match, and what promises to be Cena's final showdown at WrestleMania. In this video I'm covering the backstory of this match, making an argument for Cody Rhodes retaining the title, as well as an argument for Cena winning the title, and lastly I conclude this video by looking ahead, because WWE has already done as such. So we start with the backstory to this match, and the quest for world title number 17 for John Cena began at the Royal Rumble. He had every intention of competing in his last Royal Rumble and winning and going on to WrestleMania. However, despite making it to the final two, he would come up short, being eliminated by Jey Uso. And I think after that loss, after that latest setback, something snapped inside of John Cena, and he knew that with time being of the essence, with this being his final year in wrestling, that if he wanted to win world title number 17, something had to change. And he pretty much kind of foreshadowed it in his post-show press conference, where instead of taking questions, he simply declared his intent to not only enter the Elimination Chamber match, but win the Elimination Chamber match, win world title number 17, because that is what is best for business. Flash forward to the Elimination Chamber, and Cena would make good on his word. He would win the Elimination Chamber match, and what happened afterwards had everybody talking. The bad guy turned heard around the world. I think a lot of people were not expecting this. I certainly wasn't expecting this as well, but I think it adds a nice little wrinkle, or certainly kind of makes the story a bit more fun to watch play out. Cena, after being a good guy for so many years, has finally sold out, has finally become the bad guy in a desperate quest to win world title number 17. Will it pay off for him? I guess we shall see. So now we have the case for Cody Rhodes retaining, and Rhodes has been champion for almost a year now. Pretty close. I don't remember when WrestleMania 40 was last year. We might have already passed it. I'm not quite too sure. But he has been a resilient champion, and he's been a very determined champion. And for Rhodes, retaining the title at WrestleMania 41 would further solidify his legacy and further affirm his position as the face of WWE's future. A victory over a legend like Cena would not only validate Rhodes' championship reign, but also symbolize the passing of the torch, ushering in a new era for WWE. It would also be a massive setback for Cena, something that might push him down a dark path a bit more. And really, that's kind of like the only thing I could see being a positive for Rhodes retaining. Not that I want Cody Rhodes' title reign to retain. I think he's been a good champion. I think there's certainly more you could do with him as champion, but if you ultimately decide to have him retain, then that has to set up another rematch between Rhodes and Cena for the title, and you have to have Cena doing more, and kind of, as I said, going further down the dark path in a desperate ploy to win world title number 17. So it certainly could make the story a bit more interesting if Cody Rhodes retains and Cena is once again left defeated. Now we have the case for Cena winning a record 17th world title, and that has been a compelling narrative ever since the world final tour, or the farewell tour, was announced. Would he or would he not win world title number 17? And there is some history to be made here. And Cena already has his place in the history books. He already has his place in the Hall of Fame, but he would really get a spot all to his own if he were to surpass Ric Flair's record for world titles. Cena also mentioned that he's also expressed his intent to ruin wrestling for fans by winning the title and then retiring with it, forcing fans to remember his name as the last real WWE champion, and forcing WWE to create a new toy belt. Nice little line there from Cena. And Cena winning the title at WrestleMania. I think that'd be a nice way to pay off the bad guy turn. It would make the final farewell tour much more interesting, especially if he were to win the world title at WrestleMania, wins it in the month of April, and you got all this time between April and December to let a world title reign play out however long you want it to play out. So I think it makes the WWE Championship seem far more interesting with Cena as the guy at the top, and it also kind of shifts the story. So now we no longer have to worry about does he win the title. No, he has the title now. So now the question is, does somebody beat him for the title before he retires, or does he actually retire with the title? So that's why I say have him win the title at WrestleMania and let this story kind of play out. Put Rhodes back in chase mode, most likely. He certainly excelled in that role the couple years he was going after Roman Reigns and his title, the WWE Championship. And now we look ahead to Backlash and Randy Orton's challenge. And I threw this in here because WWE ran a segment on the on Friday Night SmackDown where Orton called his shot to be next in line for the WWE Championship, and it just so happens that Backlash is set in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis. WWE has not only been marketing Orton's appearance, but also John Cena's appearance. Now, is that foreshadowing for a Cena win? Maybe, maybe not, depending on how deep you want to look into it. Orton has a storied history with both Rhodes and Cena, and he is a formidable challenger for either guy. A title match at Backlash for Orton in his hometown would be very appropriate, very fitting for a legend and future Hall of Famer like Orton. And it gives WWE an opportunity to go one of two routes. Either you start a feud between the American Nightmare version of Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, something that has not been done since Rhodes returned. You have not really kind of delve into this much. They've been on the same side fighting the bloodline, but they haven't really fought against each other. So WWE could certainly, if Rhodes retains, look to kickstart that feud. I've seen an argument against it. I've seen an argument to suggest that WWE should wait till further on in the year for Orton and Rhodes to start their feud, and I think it's a valid argument either way. I don't think it would be wrong to wait until later in the year, and I don't think it would be wrong to wait or to do it at Backlash. But my only thing would be is that if you do it at Backlash, there has to be another match later on down the line. I think that's a type of feud that you can't just have it be a one and done sort of thing. Whereas Cena versus Orton, I see that as more of a one and done, but also as a match that has to happen in Cena's farewell tour. Randy Orton is one of the few guys from the beginning of Cena's career that is still actively competing in WWE. So to have him and Cena run it back one more time in their storied rivalry, it has to happen at some point, and what better way to do it than with Cena defending his title against Randy Orton. The dynamics would also be very much flipped in this match, so certainly intriguing route to go with that. But yeah, and lastly, we conclude this by saying, as WrestleMania 41 approaches, the WWE Universe are bracing for a showdown that will shape the future of sports entertainment, shape the future of the WWE Championship title scene. Will Rhodes cement his legacy and remain champion, or will Cena make history one last time and finally win world title number 17? Tune in to WrestleMania to find out, and as always, make sure to like, subscribe for more content just like this, and comment down below what are your thoughts on Cena's final showdown at WrestleMania 41. Will he win? Will he not win? Looking forward to hearing from you. And as for me, I'm Doug signing out. I will see you all next time.